9, 6.
Keep watching The Politics every Friday, 12.
Do you know that there is a publishing company that wants to make life easier for you as a writer? This publishing company is called World Inkers Printing and Publishing. We publish in all different languages, and we're looking for writers of all genres, all formats. We're looking for scholars, ghostwriters, playwrights, poets, short fiction, novelists, you name it. We're looking for anybody who is interested in writing and the craft of writing to be in touch with us. You can reach us at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. With World Inkers Printing and Publishing, you do not require a lot of money to publish with us. Contact us today at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. Become a winner with other authors at World Inkers Printing and Publishing. Give us a shot. We will surely convince you.
Okay, welcome to today's edition of Talking Politics. I am Robert Press, the host of the show. I write for the Bronx Chronicle, as you can see by my official New York City press card. I also write for the Co-op City News and the Parkchester Times. The latter, like this show, is a part of Muslim media. Well, let's get on to the weather as I look outside at a gloomy, cloudy day. And the weather forecast is the temperature will get up to about 70 with rain showers coming tonight. That will continue all day Saturday, which Saturday looks like a washout. And the rain could bring up to 2 inches or more, depending on which way the thin band of rain that's coming winds up. Sunday is expected to be nice but cooler for the Morris Park Parade, the Columbus Day Parade, with temperatures around in the low 60s if they get that high during the daytime. On to national news. President Joe Biden, who promised not to build a border wall with Mexico, is now building a border wall on parts of the border with Mexico. Gee, that's a nice change. And as far as the other presidential candidate in 2020, Donald Trump has been given a gag order over his comments about one of the judges hearing one of his cases, and the comments include something about the court staff and opposing attorneys. So, I mean, I wanted to find a picture of Donald Trump with a gag, but I couldn't. Otherwise, Congress was almost brought the country to a shutdown Saturday, and a foolish incident by a stupid congressman and former school's principal, Jamal Bowman, didn't help anything. What did Congressman Bowman do? He pulled a fire alarm, which he said he thought was a lever to open the locked exit doors to the chamber. But others say it was done to stop Congress from finding the middle ground to avert a government shutdown. Now, I would like to know why the Democratic congressional members and even our Bronx Democratic county leader, who's Senator Jamal Bailey's district that covers Jamal Bowman's congressional district in the Bronx and Westchester, are not saying anything for the congressman, like they're saying that, for instance, Congresswoman Alessandra Ocasio-Cortez is calling for Senator Bob Melendez to step down during his indictment. Now, this was a very serious thing, and I don't know why she's not calling for Congressman Bowman to step down. And Congressman Bowman used a former gaffe by Elliot Engel when he was on Fordham Road saying to then Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr., not realizing there was an open mic by one of the local television stations, that he wanted to speak and he wouldn't be there if he didn't have a primary. So I would say to anybody who's opposing Congressman Bowman next year, use this, and say, doesn't former Jamal Bowman know the difference between a fire alarm and a door opener? That should win you the election like Bowman won. And speaking of the government shutdown aversion, there was fallout from the averting the government shutdown because now former congressional majority leader Kevin McCarthy was ousted for working with Democrats on not shutting down the government. It appears that 3 Republican congressmen are seeking to be the next Speaker of the House. They are House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan of Ohio, House Majority Leader Steve Scalise of Louisiana, and Republican Study Committee Chairman Kevin Hern of Oklahoma. It is not known if any others will throw their names into the ring to be Speaker, or if any Democrats will try, like Hakeem Jeffries, who is the Democratic Minority Leader. On to Governor Kathy Hochul. There were 896 pieces of legislation sent to her, as I said, last year. 520 have now been acted on by the governor, and 4 are constitutional amendments, which leaves 372 bills that still require her signature. Some of those that still are waiting for her to sign are the Clean Slate Bill, Reparations Commission, Grievance Family Act, Challenging Wrongful Conditions, the Hawaii Holiday, even year elections, and several others, including maternal care, Black youth health, access to housing accountability, home awareness. Meanwhile, Governor Hochul has announced that 18,000 jobs will be available to asylum seekers and migrants as part of the statewide initiative to move individuals out of shelter and into independent living. The New York State Department of Labor is working with nearly 400 employees to identify opportunities for asylum seekers and migrants who have obtained work authorizations. The governor has launched a public awareness campaign to help employers find and hire asylum seekers and migrants to fill critical roles across New York State. Now, I don't know about you, but let me read you the current unemployment rates as of August 2023, which can be found on my blog at www.100percentbronx.blogspot.com. That's 100%. .blogspot.com. You have to go to the left side archive, find the week of 9/17 to 9/24 to find this article. It's about the middle of that bunch of items. And here are the unemployment rates from August 2023 compared to August 2022. In the United States, the unemployment rate is 3.9%, which was 3.8% last year at this time. In New York State, the unemployment rate is 4.4%, which is up from 4.2% the same time last year. New York City has an unemployment rate of 5.6%, up from 5.2% last year. And here in the Bronx, we have the highest unemployment rate of 7.3% of any borough, up from 7.1% in August. Now, I don't know about you, but I would like to see our Bronxites get these jobs first. If we have a 7.1% when the country is almost half that, our Bronxites need jobs too, Governor Hochul. And Governor Hochul is highlighting a plan to aggressively expand New York's legal cannabis market and crack down on illegal sales. She wants to have applicants to legally grow, process, distribute, and sell cannabis. She says they are now open. The Office of Cannabis Management and new partnerships with localities and additional state agencies to significantly increase fines, penalties, and opportunities for store closures. There's aggressive enforcement efforts that have yielded more than 8,500 pounds of illegal product with an estimated value of more than $42 million. But meanwhile, there are hundreds of thousands of pounds of cannabis sitting in warehouses that have been grown, and they can't be sold because there's no stores out there. Now, one thing you should know, just like liquor stores, there is a legal distance between cannabis stores. The distance that cannabis stores have to be is 1,000 feet apart, which means that every other block you could have a cannabis store, a legal cannabis store. Right now, you have that almost in illegal cannabis stores, because here, I'm in the 49th precinct. I attended the precinct council meeting where the commanding officer, Deputy Inspector Kentish, said there are 26 illegal cannabis stores in the 49th precinct. Now, times that by all of the precincts in the city, and you have about 1,500 illegal cannabis stores. And I know that's a low number because certain precincts have a higher amount. But here in the Bronx, last week, Bronx Assemblyman John Sicaro Jr. and his sheriff's office conducted raids in his district on 5 stores in a 2-day operation, resulting in the confiscation of hundreds of pounds of illegal tobacco products, including untaxed cigarettes. Like I said, Deputy Inspector Kentish mentioned about all the illegal smoke shops in the 49th precinct, which is in Assemblyman Sicaro's district. And even in the legal cannabis stores, it is a cash business because credit cards would mean wire transfers across state lines, and cannabis, or marijuana, which is its real name, is still illegal in the United States. The IRS is finding tax cheats in other states because of the cash business. Some store owners are underreporting sales to keep tax monies. And I'm wondering how New York State is going to make sure that they're getting everything from these cannabis stores if it's cash business. We know that in many of the stores where they do a cash business, it's just put into a box underneath the counter. So there's no tax on that. Governor Hochul also said this about the rainfall last week. A widespread 6 to 7 inches of rain fell last night across the city. Parts of New York City, Long Island, and the Hudson Valley remain under a flash flood warning, which indicates an imminent threat of fast-moving water that can make travel dangerous and threaten life and safety. Mother Nature has shown us an unprecedented rainfall in a matter of just 24 hours with more than 7 inches of rain in parts of Brooklyn, 6 inches of rain in other parts of the city. Governor Hochul and MTA CEO John Oliva announced that the Metro North will be able to restore service. They were out, and many subway lines were out. Now, Mayor Adams said about the rainfall, New York City experienced widespread flooding starting from the early hours of Friday into Friday afternoon, and periods of rainfall are forecast to continue into the evening. This was done on last Friday. Since Friday, and he said that there was about 8.5 inches at Kennedy Airport, 4.9 inches at LaGuardia Airport, and 5.8 inches in Central Park. Now, it's pretty close together between both of them, but, they need to get their act together. Before we go to a commercial, I want to mention the daycare center indictment by Bronx District Attorney Darcel Clark. Bronx daycare provider, her husband and cousin have been indicted for murder, manslaughter, and the fentanyl poisoning of 22-year-old Nicholas D'Amici. Bronx District Attorney Darcel Clark announced that the operator, her husband, cousin, been indicted under circumstances envisioning a depraved indifference to human life, assault, and other charges for allegedly exposing 4 babies to fentanyl stored in the daycare center, leading to the death of Nicholas Dominici, 22 months old. According to the investigation, on September 15th at 2:43 p.m. in an apartment at 22707 Morris Avenue, that was a licensed daycare center where Mr. Brito resided in a bedroom. 4 children were poisoned by exposure to fentanyl, resulting in the death, again, of Dominici, and acute intoxication requiring hospital treatment for an 8-month-old girl, her 2-year-old brother, and another 2-year-old boy. EMS technicians used Narcan to reverse symptoms of the brother and sister, but the baby died. The other boy was treated at the hospital. A kilo of fentanyl was found in the closet of the daycare apartment, and 6 kilos of fentanyl, heroin, and other controlled substances were found under a trapdoor in the floor, under a padded mat where children napped. Kilo presses and other drug paraphernalia were found in the apartment. Now, I must say this is an indictment, and it is only an accusatory instrument and is not proof that the defendants are guilty. And while we're almost at the middle of the show, let me ask my producer to go to a commercial. Mr. Producer, do we have a commercial or do we want to continue? Okay, let's continue then. New York City Mayor Eric Adams and the Health and Hospitals Corporation on Monday launched telehealth abortion access through virtual express care, becoming the first healthcare system in the nation to do so, and further expanding New York's access to abortion care while Americans' reproductive rights remain under attack, according to the mayor and the Health and Hospitals Corporation. This service will be available 7 days a week between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. and will provide patients with access to safe and legal abortion care. New York City Health and Hospitals offers access to a full spectrum of medical and procedural abortion services at their hospital-based clinics. This launch will expand care to include telehealth medical abortion. Patients can access telehealth abortion online by calling 718-360-8981. Patients wishing to make in-person appointments for obstetric and gynecological services, including abortion care, should call New York City, 844-NYC-4NY. Here in New York, we will not allow the crusade to strip women of their reproductive rights, said Mayor Adams, and we will let people even call up to get abortion on demand. Now, this marks a historic win for abortion access, said Wendy Stark, president and CEO of Planned Parenthood of New York. I applaud the New York City Health and Hospitals for taking this important stride with telehealth abortion service that will allow New Yorkers access to critical abortion care for comfort in their own homes without worrying about barriers like transportation and significant time off. But this is only for a limited amount of time. I believe it's 10 weeks. After 10 weeks, you can't get the abortion on control on demand pill. It's a pill that you take that will basically kill whatever embryo is in you. And let me continue with Mayor Adams' statement on the strong growth, he says, in the 2023 Math and English Language Arts test scores. New York City Mayor Adams released the following statement after the Department of Education released the 2023 test.
In a world where the quality of information available to poorer communities is doctored, tainted, and sometimes regressive, where the words fake news have come to mean other people's opinions, it is vital to rely on news platforms with journalists who have feet on the ground and can report the truth. New York Parrot, a New York-based national and global news outlet, is changing the narratives of media operations. We focus on the news that matters, like self-empowerment, entrepreneurship, finances, health, security, politics, and more. We strive to curb violence, racial and economic discrimination, and to promote peace and socio-economic development of multiculturally diverse world. As we give voice to the people, we also give your business a voice and make it heard. Get your products and services off the ground by advertising on our fast-growing platform. With so much of daily visits to New York Parrot, you can't afford to be invisible to prospective clients on the websites they trust the most. Our posts reach millions of people across the New York State and around the world. Advertising on our news site will unlock an audience of thousands of potential customers on your doorstep. New York Parrot is born to prosperously speak tomorrow for the voiceless.
Okay, welcome back. Let me apologize for my producer, who is doing many things at the same time and does not always get the right time when I need a commercial. But let me continue with Mayor Adams' statement on the test scores that the Department of Education released. He goes, "We are elated to see strong growth under this administration's first full school year. As a student, I struggled with an undiagnosed disability, so I know firsthand how the right support at school can change a student's trajectory. That is why we introduced critical investments like dyslexia screening, New York City Reads, and more to ensure students are provided with the tools needed to unlock the true potential. This is only the beginning. The work continues under this administration and the leadership of Chancellor Banks to invent public education in New York City. Now, here's the results. Math test score proficiency increased from 37.9% in 2022 to 49.9% in 2023. During that same period, ELA proficiency increased from 49% to 51.7%. So Mayor Adams was correct when he said that children in public schools, half of the children can't read or write on grade level. However, these test scores used to be given to parents before their students graduate to the next class or from school. I don't know why it's taking so much time now to release these scores after the new school year started, when parents need the school and students need them when the school year is ending. Now, also, before I leave Mayor Adams on the subject, Mayor Adams is now visiting Central and South America to foster relationships, learn more about the path asylum seekers take to get to the United States, and meet with local and national leaders about the situations on ground leading to an influx of asylum seekers arriving in the U.S. Mayor Adams has gone to Mexico City. He's gone to Ecuador, and he is in Colombia right now, according to his press office. Next item is the current conditions of the monitoring team at Rikers Island, the October 5th, 2023 report. This came out yesterday. I'm just going to give you there's 3 pages here that I have. I'm going to quickly just go. On what they say, there's a lack of ownership, security and violence indicators, which means in custody deaths. 9 people have died in custody shortly after the release, and 1 person died the day of the release of this report. There's the high impact force. The monitoring team continues to identify aggravated use of force in which staff utilizes high impact force and head strikes, stabbing and slashings. The number of stabbings has significantly increased in August and September. There were 93 stabbing slashings in the jails. Let's see, what's the next one? They're talking about 2 of the buildings, although the department targeted these 2 facilities with intense violence and reduction strategies. Their initial positive impact has eroded in both facilities, again, mired in high rates of violence and disorders. There are incidents of self-harm between April 6, 2023 and July 31st, 2023. The department reports there have been 380 incidents of self-injury, injurious behavior, or attempted suicides. There were 31 staff suspensions in response to use of force-related misconduct. As far as restricted housing, the report has something to say about that too. Basic facility operations, facility closing, reopening, and the departure of leaders in the Rikers Island management. The staff did consistently and routinely not tour the units while they made logbook entries such as no issue noted, even though they, like I said, they did not conduct a tour. They claimed poor supervision, events occurring after lock-in, that violence occurs. For instance, during the week of September 11th in the report, there were 15 such incidents which occurred while the incarcerated population should have been locked in. They say that dangerous contraband, which is weapons, are easily available to people in custody, as evidenced by the large number of stabbings, slashings, and self-harm incidents that continue to occur. It's a 64-page report, and I'm not going to go into it. Like I said yesterday, there was a death of a 27-year-old man at Rikers Island. He is number 9. He was found in his cell. And 1 week last week in New York City jails, which are more than just Rikers Island. Rikers Island is not the only jails that the city has. There were 34 assaults on staff, 28 suicide attempts, 15 fires, and 1 sexual harassment allegation, according to the Federal Monitor. The answer would be a federal takeover by the government, but would that improve anything? This leads me into the 13th City Council District, which I'm going to read from City and State. Okay, I may have paraphrased a little. They say District 13, Southeast Bronx, includes Scroggs Neck, Pelham Bay, and Morris Park, but it also includes Van Nest and Allerton. Candidates: incumbent Marjorie Velazquez, challenger Christy Marmorato, and they point in the 2021 mayoral election. Curtis Lewa got 48.5%, while Eric Adams got 47.4%. In the 2022 governor's race, Kathy Hochul wound up with 52.73%. Lee Zeldin got 47.17%. Why they're watching, they say a Republican, Ms. Maramato, who has the Republican and conservative line. A Republican hasn't been elected representative in the Bronx over the past 20 years, but if it were to happen anywhere, it could very well be in District 13. Weak incumbent Marjorie Velazquez, who defended her seat against 3 primary challenges in June, is expected to face a competitive challenge for first-time political candidate Christy Marmorato, who could benefit from her strong ties to the borough's Republican Party. Velazquez has benefited from the backing of labor unions, including New York City District Council carpenters, but her eventual support of the controversial Bruckner Boulevard rezoning, known as the Food Town rezoning, sparked a surge of backlash from many constituents. Housing, as well as public safety and other quality of life issues, are central to this race, which is where the Democrat incumbent is weak. While the district is in a section of the Bronx that's friendliest to the Republicans, voters tend to lean more to moderate candidates. The Democrats in the 13th Council District are the kind of Democrats that support Republicans, but they don't support just any Republican, say J.C. Polanco, a central political analysis. Marmorato has pitched herself as a more moderate Republican who has the conservative party line. Velazquez is trying to establish herself now as a more moderate Democrat, having been in the city council's progressive caucus earlier in the year. Velazquez will need to take this race seriously, says Trip Yang, a Democratic strategist. Now, the Van Nest Neighborhood Alliance had a candidates night meeting or a candidates forum on Wednesday, October 4th. Ms. Marmorato was there in person, and the incumbent had to be there on a Zoom TV, which looked like she'd be looking down at notes or whatever, which really isn't fair. If you can't be there live, then you shouldn't be on TV. Now, I asked both candidates a question about the Metro North stations, since I was at the Metro North meeting the night before, and it seems like after 20 years or more of these 4 new stations coming in to the Metro North line in the East Bronx at Co-op City, Morris Park, Van Nest / Parkchester, and Hunts Point, it seems that we're back to step 1. And what do I mean by that? They asked people, what would you like to see at the stations? What amenities do you want? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And that's what they did over 20 years ago, because that's when I got involved. And I asked somebody who was with the Metro North, why are you back to step 1? And they told me, well, we originally had it, Metro North, when it first came out. Then it was handed over to the MTA, which had to start from scratch. And now that we have it back, we have to start from scratch again because we don't have any notes. All right. So as I was saying, in this debate, I asked 2 candidates, why are 3,000 units of housing going at just the Morris Park station and the Parkchester Van Nest station? Why don't you share them? Why are we getting the bulk in the 13th Council District? Christy Marmorato said, you're right, it should be split among the 4 stations, 1,500 apartments, our housing units at each station. What happened to fair share? The incumbent, Marjorie Velazquez, said to me, I should go talk to the other 2 council members, Rafael Salamanca and Kevin Riley, to see why their 2 stations are not getting any additional housing. And I say to you, Marjorie Velazquez, if I have to talk to your fellow council members, you should not be in the city council, okay? And I am going to say to vote for Christy Marmorato for city council in the 13th Council District, because Marjorie Velazquez cannot do her job and wants other people to do her job. Let me just finalize before I close the show that tonight Congresswoman Alessandra Ocasio-Cortez is having a virtual town hall meeting. You can check my blog for the link to it. The Morris Park Community Association is having a pre-Columbus Day party tonight, introducing Miss Columbus Day and the Grand Marshals for the Columbus Day Parade, which is Sunday. It will travel along Morris Park Avenue and turn up Williamsbridge Road. It will begin at 12 p.m. At 2 p.m., there will be a carnival in Loretto Park, which is on Morris Park Avenue. The weather is forecast to be nice, but a little chilly. Tuesday, October 10th, is the monthly Pelham Parkway Neighborhood Association meeting. The guest speaker is the Governmental Affairs Office for the New York City Department of the Aging, Joshua Melendez. And congratulations to the daughter of Assemblyman Michael Benedetto, Louisa Benedetto, who was promoted to Director of Governmental Affairs at the Queens Public Library. And let me close on that note. Congratulations to Louisa. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next week.
Do you know that there is a publishing company that wants to make life easier for you as a writer? This publishing company is called World Inkers Printing and Publishing. We publish in all different languages, and we're looking for writers of all genres, all formats. We're looking for scholars, ghostwriters, playwrights, poets, short fiction, novelists, you name it. We're looking for anybody who is interested in writing and the craft of writing to be in touch with us. You can reach us at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. With World Inkers Printing and Publishing, you do not require a lot of money to publish with us. Contact us today at
Do you wish your business makes it to the top list of the most searched for business in